And there's a selection of teas as well if you want, if you prefer.
Oh my God. All right.
You don't have to pick chai. Hi everyone, it's Grace. We're back here at our K-PAC Spill the Tea series where we get to speak to each of our different K-PAC members. Here with us today is someone who needs no introduction from the state of Illinois, Congressman Raja Krishnamoorthi. Raja, I have a question. You are every stereotypical Asian parent's dream. You received your bachelor's degree in mechanical engineering from Princeton, your JD from Harvard Law School, and you have represented Illinois' 8th District since 2017. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself and why you went into public service?
Well, so when I first grew up in Peoria, Illinois, my father said to me, Raja, you can do anything you want in life. I said, really? He said, yes. You can be a mechanical engineer, a civil engineer, an electrical engineer,
True diversity.
or a doctor.
Oh my God.
And so
Not even a lawyer.
No, that was
Oh,
not
wow.
that was not allowed at that time. So I ended up getting a BS in mechanical engineering. I practice the BS part now.
I love it. Now, we're here drinking tea. We had a bunch of choices, and you picked Irish breakfast tea. Do you have a favorite kind of tea you like to drink?
You know, I actually like Zen.
Oh.
Yeah, but you know, I like Irish breakfast, and that reminds me of the first time I introduced myself in Chicago. And I said, hi, my name is Raja Krishnamoorthi. And the person looked right back at me and said, Roger Christian Murphy.
Of course.
And then he said, the funny part, the kicker was he said, I didn't know the Irish made it to India. And so it was a natural choice to go with Irish breakfast today.
I love it. Well, thank you for so much of what you've done to help and lift up our A and HPI communities across the country. You currently serve as the co-chair of our immigration task force.
Yeah.
As you all know, we have been seeing a disturbing rise of anti-Asian, anti-Indian, and South Asian hate across the country.
Let's go!
Including recent anti-Indian demonstration in places like Frisco, Texas. Yes. What do you think is fueling this rise, and how can leaders respond to our communities?
Well, it rhymes with Donald Trump. Oh, did I say that? Look, Donald Trump, as soon as he came into office, he really played on people's kind of latent fears of the other, whoever they were, whether it was somebody who was Mexican, whether it was someone who's Indian, whether it was somebody who is African American or queer. I mean, he really played on kind of a latent fear of folks who might not otherwise be in the mainstream, and he basically pointed to them and said, the reason why you're not doing well financially or what have you is because of those people over there. And I think that has now metastasized over 10 years into almost like a normalization of hate. Whether it's toward Chinese Americans during COVID and since then, or whether it's toward Indian Americans and Indian origin people, recently, especially in places like Texas, where it's kind of pretty shocking what's being said.
Yeah, it's been really disappointing from hearing from this administration, this president trying to decide who he thinks is good enough to be American.
Right. And Stephen Miller,
yeah.
his henchman,
yeah.
who kind of tries to execute or put in place these really draconian immigration policies based on those conceptions of who they think are rightfully Americans.
Right. And then we're watching them attack legal immigration pathways, imposing new barriers, including this $100,000 fee on
Crazy.
new H-1B visas. In fiscal year 2024, Indian nationals received 71% of all H-1B visas. How do these policies impact our Indian American communities and also affect America's global competitiveness?
I mean, it adversely affects both, right? Because our competitiveness depends on attracting the very best talent on earth, whether it's people from India or China or Sweden, it doesn't matter. And so when you put this, what I call it a tax, $100,000 tax on this group of people who, by the way, fill some of the most kind of exquisite technical roles in our economy, and many of whom have gone on to incubate companies, employing hundreds of thousands of people. You're basically pushing these people away in the first instance, and then probably getting people here to rethink whether they should stay. And you're seeing it all over the place. And now, that kind of attitude means that I fear that increasingly companies here are going to offshore the work. Because you only have two choices, Grace. You can either onshore the talent or offshore the work. These companies are not going to just sit by and not do the work. And so that's why, especially in this really competitive economic landscape, we've got to fix our legal immigration system, and we've got to stop, these own goals, so to speak, on H-1B and, other legal pathways that people have used to enrich our economy.
Yeah, well, thank you for your work on this. And let's end on something more positive as we're celebrating America's 250th birthday. This America that belongs to all of our communities. Do you have any message for our fellow Americans, especially our A and HBI community across the country?
Well, happy birthday to all of us. Some people might think that we don't belong, but we not only belong, but we are going to be the trailblazers for an even better country to come. So I can't wait to see where this country is at in 50 more years, on our 300th birthday and beyond. And hopefully by then we will have solved some of these basic challenges that you and I just talked about, but we're also going to kind of take it to the next level. And, like any good Asian American parent, I'm looking forward to an A+ future for America. And I feel we're going to get there, but we got to all kind of row together. And I want to thank you for your leadership in kind of getting us unified in Congress on a lot of these issues, and remembering kind of all the things that we have in common, despite the fact that some people keep pointing out the differences, which to me actually make us stronger.
Yeah, absolutely. Well said. Thank you, Raja.
Thank you, Grace.
Bye.